In this video, I reviewed the DJI Mavic Pro drone and see if it really lives up to the hype of being the coolest drone ever. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media TV, helping you go further, faster in media. And on this channel, we do tech gear reviews, video gear reviews, and now drone reviews, just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And hey, at any point during the video, check out show notes and links in the description below. I'll list out all the specs of this drone, as well as some extra resources and anything I forgot. Let's get into the video. So this Mavic review is gonna be unique to the other reviews on YouTube because I'm an absolute drone novice. In fact, this was my first drone I've ever flown in my life. And so I'm kind of coming from the perspective of maybe somebody who is thinking about getting into drones, but was intimidated like me about how hard is it gonna be to fly? Is the learning curve too steep? And also in this review, I'm not gonna get super technical. You know, there's a lot of great YouTube channels devoted to drones, right? And they know all kinds of stuff, they're specialists. I'm kind of coming from like the creator that would love to include drone footage in their creations. And I really think that the Mavic has bridged the gap to make flying drones and drone footage accessible to everybody. And just to be clear, DJI sent me this drone to test, but this is not a paid promotion or anything like that. So all of my thoughts and opinions in this video are 100% my own. So the first thing that really stood out to me about the Mavic is the build quality and the portability. It actually fits inside of this pouch. You can slip the drone in there and the remote in there, and you can even put extra batteries on the outside. So you could be traveling with 3 batteries in this tiny little pouch. Lots of people have been remarking on how well built it is, how pro it is, and how good the design is, how strong, how good everything feels. But the fact that it collapses down into just this tiny little portable drone that you can take with you anywhere. I mean, look at this little guy, he just collapses down. It's like the size of my hand, just fits right there, you know, in your palm, and then of course can go into this pouch and you can just slip the remote in there as well. The second thing that really stands out is how user-friendly this drone is. For my first flight ever, we took it just a few miles away from my house here in Vegas, and we're able to get it up and running right away. The controls were easy to figure out. We updated the firmware, was one of the first things that we did. That was super easy to do. Then we took it out after the battery was charged up, and we were up and flying. And that was, you know, immediately having literally zero experience. It is extremely accessible to someone who's maybe just starting, but at the same time, I can already tell there's so many different pro features, you know, for advanced users. Then on the second flight, we were in Seattle around Fremont Street. We're actually at an event called Vlogger Fair, and was even getting more of a hang of it. Flying drones, again, like can be intimidating. I was certainly intimidated, but as I started hearing all the rustling and bustling, right, of the Mavic and, you know, how cool it was and how portable it was, I really got pumped because I thought, man, maybe this is the drone that will kind of bridge the gap for me so I don't have that steep learning curve. And then on our third flight, I was already creating like some pretty, I feel like, advanced shots, and was actually hanging out with my friend Benji, co-founder of Video Influencers, and we were shooting some running shots, and we were kind of like trying to get the hang of it, of how would you use this on like a real shoot where you've got a subject and where you're creating some things that are pretty dynamic, you know, as you can see here. So user-friendly and learning curve-wise, sensational. Now the third thing is the investment, and coming in at right around $1,000 USD, it's definitely not the cheapest drone on the market. But one of the things that I immediately started to feel like was this is like the iPhone of drones. You know, like you get what you pay for, and every day using it, you're so thankful for that investment. You know, every day I use my iPhone, I'm like thankful for how fast it is, how well it works, you know, how cool the Retina screen looks, all those types of things. I feel like the Mavic is super similar to that. You feel the build quality, how great the remote feels, all these aspects of it and you say, man, this is like underpriced really for what you're getting. Now for the fourth observation, I just wanna run through the features that really stood out to me. The first is the camera is on a 3-axis gimbal, and the stabilization of the footage is actually physical, not digital. And so if you're new to what that means, some footage is actually digitally stabilized, so they typically will have like a larger image, and what they'll use the shake to just crop in a little bit to do the stabilization digitally. In this case, it's physically done as the gimbal itself on the front of the drone is working. And as you can see from the test footage, the shots are incredibly stable, they're incredibly awesome. And another thing that I learned about was that you actually could use it as a Steadicam. You could actually fold up the arms just like this, and you're still gonna get access to that stable footage from the gimbal. So you can start seeing how quickly this could become a multi-purpose 4K video camera to get, cool shots for you as well as a drone. For us out shooting, we shot footage in 4K at 30 frames per second, and then we tested out the slow motion as well, 96 frames per second at 1080p. And there's a whole bunch of frame rates in between there. The largest 4K just does 24 frames per second, and then that's like over 4,000 pixels or whatever it is. And then the one down from there will do 30 frames, and then there's all kinds of settings, right? It's all list all the different specs and settings in the description below. Next is the battery. And so the flight time is rated at what they say 27 minutes. We seem to be getting about 25 minutes. And again, that's how aggressively are you flying it as far as how quick the battery is draining. If you're thinking about picking up a Mavic, you might want to invest in other batteries, considering during that running shoot, we went through 3 batteries. And so it's nice to have a couple extras on hand. And all of the features are really based to give you the best experience and to protect your drone, meaning when the battery gets to a certain level where it's very low, the drone will actually automatically fly home to the home point. The next thing that stood out to me is the controller, and I use this with an iPhone 6 Plus. It comes with the cables so you can use it with different phones, and it is phenomenal. It has such a great feel to it. The build quality is great. And by the third shoot that we were doing, I started to get a hang of all the different buttons, the way they were set up. And you can customize what they do. But like I was using this toggle wheel where you can kind of adjust exposure, easy and go up and down. So the other one where you can adjust the angle of the camera, that was great. Start and stop video recording, snap photos, hit the home button to fly home. Love the way it feels. And again, love how it compactly folds down with the Mavic to just toss into your bag or pack into your gear kit to travel with. Also, what's really cool is there is a feature where you can tap to focus. So you just tap on the screen what you want to be in focus, which is rad. And then there's also a tap to fly. And so especially for beginners, there is a way where you just tap to say where you want the drone to go and it'll go there. Another super cool thing that stands out about the Mavic is that it has sensors to prevent crashes. And a friend of mine said, one of the things with drones is it's not if you're gonna crash it, it's when you're gonna crash it, because someday it's probably gonna happen, right? But what's cool about the Mavic is it has sensors on the bottom and on the front so that if there's an obstacle in the way, it'll stop on its own to prevent crashes. We also tested it flying it at us, and it can see people. So it saw us and it stopped, flying it on its own. And so those sensors are really great. And the other cool thing about them is they'll keep it the right height from the ground. And so if you were tracking somebody that was flying uphill, or if you're flying it along the ground, it'll sense how far above it is from the ground to stay that distance away. It also has cool tracking modes where you can easily select the mode and then tap on a person or a car or something you want to follow, and it'll actually track and follow that object on its own. So when I was doing the running footage with Benji, I was able to just tap on him, it saw him, and then it just flies and starts creating some super dynamic footage while you just kind of don't do anything at all, but yet the end result ends up being super cool when it's in those tracking modes. There's also a mode called the tripod mode, which is super cool to use it indoors or to use it outdoors and to do almost like slider shots or to do like raising shots. So again, I think one of the things that really stands out about the Mavic is it's a multi-purpose creation tool that I'm excited to use in lots of different scenarios so that you could get dynamic shots when you're storytelling, not just your typical drone footage, but some very intimate dynamic movements footage really easy. And additionally, there's a lot of other smart features that I'm excited to try and to get into. There is a beginner mode, which I actually skipped past that. I probably should have started with that. But again, I think what they've done with the Mavic, making it accessible to really everybody, like wherever you're starting, is really cool. But the other features that I'm excited to test is that you can actually live stream on Periscope, on Facebook, or also on YouTube Live. So I'm pumped to test out streaming drone footage on those platforms. And then finally, as far as the range goes, the Mavic can fly 4.3 miles up to 7 kilometers away from you, wherever you launched it. Now, who do I think that the Mavic is for? And my answer would be pretty much everybody. I mean, if you're just a vlogger, you could start incorporating footage. Again, even if you're new, if you're a travel vlogger, the size and portability is phenomenal. So it becomes the new go-to drone for being on the road. Obviously in video production, there's so many dynamic things that you could do if you just want to add production value, wedding photographers, wedding videographers, and anybody that's doing video production that wants to use that tripod mode and create even some crane shots, even just using it as a steady cam, and so many different things that you could use it for any video creator. Obviously real estate agents that want to be able to put drone footage up of their listings. It really is kind of the drone for everybody, and they had everybody in mind, all the way from novices up to pros. So you can probably tell from this video that I'm pretty pumped about the Mavic Pro. In fact, I don't think I've been this excited about something in tech for a very long time. As far as the question is it the coolest? Is it the best drone ever? I think Casey Neistat said it best.
This is the greatest drone ever made, and I stand by that now more than ever.
So I definitely think that the Mavic is at the top of the list for the hottest tech this season. Whether you wanted to get a gift for somebody else or whether you just wanted to get it for yourself to take your videos to the next level. Question of the day: have you started shooting drone footage yet? And are you thinking about getting into it and maybe investing in a drone? Let me know in the comments section below. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this, and check out the DJI Mavic Pro playlist. I'll include other videos I do about the Mavic on that playlist, including an example of the 4K footage uploaded to YouTube in 4K. And until next time, Think Media TV is helping you go further, faster in media. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.